Who's got the best brand? We
I
got
do.
7 brands.
I don't
You
even
don't.
have a
I
brand
was gonna say you don't have a brand, so you can't talk. So the
anymore.
ranch has 7 brands associated with it. There is the brand itself, which is the Hashknife brand. This one. It
Used to be mine.
used to be
Used to be my
dad's.
grandpa's and
Yeah.
his dad.
And I think we've shared that story a little bit in the past, but essentially it was grandpa's. It came from Wyoming. It was transferred into Montana in 1947. Grandpa gave it to dad upon his death. And dad has had it until the ranch came into fruition and he gave it up to the LLC. So the LLC now owns that brand. He has no brands. I have one. Braden has two.
Two.
Mom has two. And then grandma has her one. I think that should all equal the 7 that I was talking about. Uh, which is your favorite of the 7 and why?
We got some good brands.
Yeah,
Really, you have some really nice brands.
I
Uh,
have 2.
well, there's sentimental value to our
Mm-hmm.
brands to us as well. You know, like the newest brand is one that was my grandpa's stepdad and great his granddaughter, who was my
Mm-hmm.
cousin. You know, this is all, going round and round. She says, "I'm not going to use this brand," and I said, "I'll buy it from you."
Right.
And she goes, "No, I'm not letting you buy it from me. I'll give it to you." I mean, that's my cousin. That's just
Yeah.
we got that kind of relationship. I would do anything for her. And so I said, "Well, I'd like to give it to Lisa because it's an L reverse hanging C, and it's a sweet, nice brand, really nice brand." So that's the newest one. Um, you have the Lazy Nine hanging six.
Yeah,
I
and I
love
was gonna say
that brand.
of the two, I like my favorite two are the Hash Knife and the Lazy Nine Hanging Six because they both one's a simple brand, which is the Hash Knife, but then the Lazy Nine Hanging Six, the way it looks, it almost looks like a symbol brand, and it's also a one iron brand where you
One
put
iron.
one
Mm.
It's
on
yep,
90 degrees, you turn it
yep,
vertical, and then it's suddenly the same brand.
yep. So those two. Braden has the Z
Yep.
hanging V, which is a really nice brand. Goes on nice. It's clean.
That was Grandpa's.
That was Grandpa's, and
And
he got that from a guy named Tim Conley, who was an old
oh, okay.
Irishman that was out here years and years ago. Um, Holy cow! The Overstep, that's a single iron brand,
But only for
but
horses.
it's only for horses, and it's
Did you find that for a cow location, or is it only available for horses at
well,
all?
funny thing. Great state of
Oh,
Montana Department of Livestock. When I found that brand, I saw it was for horses on a right shoulder, and it's just two standing quarter circles is all it is, and it looks like a hoof print. So I got it, and I don't see this as available for cattle, and they say, "Oh yeah, we can't make that available for cattle. That's not a cattle brand." Like, why not? Well, it just isn't. I mean, they gave no good reason.
yeah, that's not a
And
legitimate reason.
there
Yeah,
you go.
and I said, "All
Other
right,
than it's a symbol, and the
kind
the
of,
brand
yeah."
office is trying to get rid of the symbol brands.
Well, but then, and I said, all right, when that comes available, if that does come available, how do I get that? Well, it's not going to come available. And so I was going through the brand book one day for looking for something, and I see that brand on cattle. So they had opened it up for cattle, and people snapped it up. Like,
Yeah, of course
God,
it
that
did.
just makes me so mad. But that's typical state of Montana Department of Livestock. Got to hate them, you know, typical government bureaucracy. So that's a really nice brand. But it's only available to us, or we have it on horses only.
And that's our second single iron brand.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um,
And then I
geez,
think
what is it?
we forgot Braden's You Crazy V.
As I
Yep,
say, the You Crazy V, we got that so that he had a
he had a
brand.
brand when he was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fact is, I think he got his brand before you did.
Probably because he had a horse that he could put it on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yours
Mine has
already had
only
the
gone
hash
on
knife on.
cows so far.
Yeah. Yeah, because your brand or your horse already had the hash knife on him.
Right.
And
And
didn't he
then
use the ZV for that heifer?
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
You've each
he's
got
used
your
it for a
brands
couple
on.
horses too.
Yeah, they got on some horses too.
The ZV?
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Lucky's got
And
oh right.
then grandma's hay hook, and I think
Hay
that
hook.
rounds it all out.
Yep.
Let me make sure I'm looking at all of them. I got You Crazy V, Lee's Not Hanging Six, L Reverse Hanging C, the ZV, and the Overstep, the hay hook, and the hash knife. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So which are your favorites and why? I said mine. One, the hash knife because it's a symbol brand, and then two, my brand, not only for personal reasons, but it's the way it looks and it's a single iron. I would say probably the Overstep would be my number third. Yeah.
Yeah. That Overstep is a really nice horse brand. It'd be a good cattle brand too, but it's an especially nice horse brand.
Where was that location for the cattle brand too? Was it on the ribs or on
There was none
the
available.
Yeah, they
well
didn't even have it.
when it opened up, was it on the ribs or was it
You know,
on
I
the hip?
don't remember.
know where it's at. Don't remember.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
should see if somebody's dropped it since the
Prices went up.
well, and they had to re-register a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I should check that out, see if it's available.
I think my favorite are the hash knife because it's a symbol and the history behind it. And then yours, the lazy nine hanging six because the history again.
And the ZV for me.
And then the ZV because of
those are the same for me.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, it's funny too because I love talking about the hash knife and then they automatically associate it with like the Zane Grey book, the hash knife outfit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they also the hash knife is synonymous with very much like the XIT or the
4.6s.
The 4.6s in Texas because there's a couple of hash knives down in that area in the Southwest, like Arizona, New Mexico.
Yep.
Different hash knife symbol, but very similar.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very cool when they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm like, no, this is what it actually looks like, and they're like, oh, that's not the brand I was thinking of. It's like,
right.
Nope, it's a slightly different one, but it's the same concept. It's a symbol for the same thing, which is a hash brown cutting, knife.
It's a utility knife for everything.
Yeah.
They call it hash knife, but meat, taters, you name it.
Yeah.
Chuck wagon knife.
Real quick because we got the time. The different locations on all of them. The hash knife goes on the horse, near side shoulder, right?
Left shoulder.
And then the left rib for the cows.
Yep.
Mine goes on, if I remember right, it's the right shoulder for horses and right hip for cows.
Yep.
I know the cows for sure. The horse I'd have to double check. Braden's, I don't even know. ZV and the U Crazy V.
ZV's a right hip and right rib.
So right hip on the horses.
Yep.
And right rib on
or right thigh. It's right thigh on a horse.
Thigh. Okay.
And the U Crazy V's on the left shoulder.
Yep. And I believe that is a rib brand on the left.
I think
rib.
it is too.
I think it is as well. Yeah. How about
We've never had that on a cow.
I haven't. I don't remember. I don't remember putting it on. Let's do the hay hook real quick. That one goes where?
The hay hook is on a right shoulder on horses,
and then a right hip on cows.
Hip on cows.
You said the overstep goes on the right shoulder.
Yep.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
And then is that all of them? Did we get all of them? Oh, the
yep.
L reverse hanging C. Where's that one go?
Yeah, that's a right thigh on horses.
Okay.
And a right hip on cattle.
Oh, same spot. I like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if for horses. Are you more of a shoulder or a thigh fan?
Shoulder.
It's easier to put them on a shoulder, a little safer.
Yeah.
But it's easier to apply it on a shoulder brand. I like the shoulder because you're right there at their head. You can see them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of a shoulder brand. absolutely abhor a jaw brand on a
Yeah, I
horse.
don't do no, no, no. I don't like those either.
Nope.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. The shoulders, the cattle, I only like the hip if it's high on the hip, like Grandpa put it. Like that's
Right.
what I like to have, but I
Well,
otherwise I'd say the rib.
and most brands should be applied fairly high. Even a rib brand should be kind of the top of the rib, because when you're
Yeah,
riding through cattle and looking down at them, you need to be able to see where the brand is at.
yeah.
A lot of people put them too low.
I was gonna say details people don't think about.
Right. Right.
They've been on their four wheelers too much. So they don't
Right.
realize what it's like to be on a horse.
Yeah. Well, and a hip brand uh on a cow, putting it up pretty high is hard. It's a pain in the butt to
Yeah,
get it to lay right. But then when you see it, it's nice to have it high.
yeah.
And
Well,
Braden does a
those
pretty good job of putting them up there
He does. Yeah.
that you can find them.
Used to be you couldn't get him to brand anything. Now you can't get the irons away from him. He's the only one that can do it right.
because he doesn't want to do the work in the chute. That's why.
Oh, is that what well, it could
Yeah,
be. I mean, that's smart.
Well, he does a good job
You,
branding
you
too.
know what's funny about that is, yeah, I'd try to get him to brand, and he would, and he's like, yeah, all right, fine. And he'd brand a few and didn't care for it and he wasn't real careful about how it went on. Then he put his own brand on
mm,
something,
skin in the
and
game.
now it's got to be perfect.
Yep.
And that changed him because now
Yeah.
because then he sees, oh, it's pride in, I put that on there. It's not crooked and it's
Hmm.
in the right
Well,
spot.
and like he said, I can see why you want them just perfect.
Yeah. Well, that is all of our brands or those associated with the brand with the ranch and our reasons for our favoritisms. So we'll take that conversation and put it out to pasture.